it has been 10 years, let me say that again, 10 years since the release of the live-action Cinderella, bringing with it its magical, gloriously amazing ball gown to the world of costumers and just lovers of twirly large dresses. And it's been 10 years since that dress has entered this world of costuming and my mind and the mind of so many other people. For me personally, it's changed the trajectory of my career and continues to do so. But it's not just my story, it's also the story of so many other costumers that ball gown has become part of their story. And I think that's just the beauty of costume design and filmmaking. So we are going to celebrate this live action movie. It is the best live action and it is the best costume design in a live action Disney princess movie. Don't try to change my mind, it will not go well. So grab a celebratory drink and join me as we go down memory lane, but also some exciting adventures that I got to experience and plan to really bring this whole 10-year anniversary celebration to its peak.
Going to see something that I have waited so long to see.
So many amazing, beautiful costumes.
Originally, this was planned to be filmed inside, but today is a beautiful day. The birds are chirping, there's flowers blooming. It's so beautiful out, and what better location to talk about Cinderella than in a fun outfit in front of flowers with the birds chirping in the background. I mean, perfect. So when I first posted about wanting to celebrate this anniversary, I had several people write in and say I should plan another photo shoot. I hadn't even thought about that, but it's such a good idea. So I very sporadically and quickly planned a photo shoot because I was leaving on a trip, so I had only like a tiny window of opportunity to do this, but I was able to pull together my team and find some amazing locations to shoot it at. I wanted to do something a little modernized than just traditional Cinderella inspired.
This is a very cool old cabin that my parents own on their business property. We actually used to live here for several years, and this was our bedroom. But it's a cabin that was built in 1832. It currently houses a bunch of old, neat props type of things that have been gathered over the years. And so I'm here trying to get some frames.
Being in that old cabin brought back so many memories. It's the place where my sewing journey originated. So when I was 12, we moved there, and a year later, at 13, I made my very first costume. 2 years after that, at 15, I would watch the Cinderella trailer in the living room, hardly comprehending how the movie would change my life. So a couple days later, I walked out of the movie theater with a dream and a passion that really changed me. So I went on to make my first Cinderella dress in that house, and I got ready for the photo shoot. And then those photos would go on to boost my career and start my journey of sewing in so many ways. After accepting commissions throughout my teenage years, I would make 3 more Cinderella dresses in that house, and then another one in a new house. And now with my 6th dress and celebrating 10 years of dreams and hundreds of hours of studying and sewing these dresses, it's a bit surreal to think about it all, and just that it's been 10 years. I still feel like that 15-year-old in some way. But anyway, we should be on to more photo shoot prep.
It's a little precarious to get up here right now, the upstairs, because the back very falling aparty, not over 150 years old part was just torn down. So there's no stairs getting up here. But I found what I needed to find. Ta-da!
Oh, that's a cute puppy. That's a cute puppy.
Mixed in with prop finding and flower prep, I also needed to mix up a batch of our family's famous cinnamon rolls as payment for one of the photoshoot locations. Of course, the final prep was getting the dress ready to shine after being stuck in storage for quite some time. The steamer came out and tried my best to get all the layers smooth. I did realize though that the outer skirt crapelin, so the very top layer, was quite wrinkly and the steam just wasn't doing much. But also with the hot fix gems, too much heat made the glue sticky, and when there's 10,000 of them on there, well, it's not something you want to mess with. So the wrinkles are still there, but it's better than it was. So I've yet to figure out a solution for this wrinkly situation of the outer fabric. It's actually not due to storage. It's actually way back to the Cinderella dance shoot. Nearly 5 years ago, I started my journey of making my 6th Cinderella dress, which also turned this little YouTube channel into something that is not so little. Making that dress and just sharing the journey of the ups and downs of creating it was one of the most memorable projects that I've done to date. And so many have written, or I've met in person, have said they discovered me and joined this sewing adventure because of the Cinderella project, which is pretty fun. It all culminated in 2021 when my family gathered around and we created some magic on the back property of my parents under the stars and filmed the replica dance video. So that footage has been seen by more people than I can even fathom. But anyway, this wrinkly skirt is evidence of that night. So with shooting at night, we started at dusk and then went past midnight, which spending 400 hours creating the dress guarantees it doesn't disappear at midnight. So I mean, fairy godmother or 400 hours meticulously making it, I take the hours just to guarantee it lasting. As the stars came out, so did the dew. So the dress got progressively damper and damper, and with it being silk crapelin, it just kind of loses its crisp finish when it gets wet. And so yes, fond memories of dancing under the night sky, but now a skirt with 10,000 gems that can't really be ironed. With all that talk about the dance shoot, I think a dance video is necessary. After 3 hours of dancing off and on, stopping the dance short after each scene, we knew we needed to film the dance all the way through without any cuts and just have fun with it. And so that's why our faces are not so in character. But anyway.
your seat.
After picking up my niece to be our helper, we somehow managed to fit in the van and head to the first location, a beautiful wedding venue called the Rabbington. Once there, the first order of business was to film an updated getting ready video.
Was it a nail?
Oh, there's a nail. It's a bunch of nails.
Oh my goodness, they're all down here. Oh wow.
Where'd she go? She's gone. That was hilarious.
Remembering to put on this underskirt layer was a good sign. Fun fact, when I was filming my getting ready video back in 2021, I had this very ambient setting to film it in, and then when I was editing, I realized I forgot this shiny layer. So I had to refilm that section, and all the flowers were dead by then, but I tried to make the best of it. Since we're on this getting ready section, did you know that my very first video that did well on YouTube was actually before I started YouTubing? It was kind of a happy accident. So since I sold so many Cinderella dresses as commissions, and they're quite complicated to put on with all the different layers, I filmed a how to put on video for my clients and posted it on YouTube. It was public. And then about a year later, it kind of went viral, and honestly, that's what clued me in to trying out this whole YouTubing thing.
Lighter would work? Maybe not. I don't know, I think it just slip up. Yeah, I'm trying. Get this out of my face. Apparently, Lily James, this is how she went to the bathroom, when someone held one of the camping bathroom things under her dress.
So the same thing happened when filming the dance video. Not the bathroom thing, but with the bum tie on the hoop skirt. So this helps keep the large volume of the hoop and the petticoats that happens with this dress where it's supposed to be in the back. And this helps it from pushing forward. But after dancing for a while, it slipped out of placement and it needed to be readjusted. So that's what's happening with some of these photos.
So you have to do the waist take first.
Got it.
Wow, did it help? You good? These heels are a little thinner than my other ones. Well, actually.
And now it's off to the second location, an old theater that is in the process of being restored. And it's the perfect place for some moody type shots. But first, I had to get in the car and try to buckle up. It was pretty difficult, but in the end, I was buckled up and it worked.
perfect pose, Bella. Yeah, but seriously. Okay, that's. I like it when it's down low. Yeah, there you go. That's good.
Create a tornado.
Probably moving it away.
Yeah, I was gonna blow it away,
I'm trying to create a little hole for your face. Okay, scoot to your left a couple feet. Wow, that's really pretty.
Almost done with this Cinderella inspired shoot. The two locations were really great and unique, and I can't wait to share more.
So the last location planned was to be these stairs that I originally ran down in my very first photo shoot. So we came to the street, and what do you know? It's under construction, and the road is completely torn out, like completely torn out, and there's no way to access the stairs. Fortunately, there were some substitutes nearby that worked fairly well. And now the complexity arises, how do you lose a shoe?
Do not fall.
How? I'm guessing you can see my feet when I'm running down?
I don't know.
Because if not, I will just run without heels to make it look better.
I can.
Weird.
Or Bella, you could also hold one behind you, run
Oh,
like this, and then just drop it.
That's true.
And just try to keep your bare foot. Like,
Just don't drop
try
it
to,
from
like,
far.
Try to squat like this while you run down, and then just drop it. Okay. I don't know.
Or hold it between your
You
knees.
wanna hold- There you go. Woo!
Well, I could loop it on my hoop skirt rung, and then it would fall off.
There you go.
No, it won't.
Alright,
Do you believe it?
let's test it.
What are you gonna do?
We're just gonna test it. Ready?
Oh, it hurt. That was good, except for all your dress was on.
It wasn't bad.
It worked, Mom. It worked.
Okay.
I think it was easier just to lose
I
it.
could just throw it. I was sure running. Woo! Attach it to a string. Alright.
I think we're seeing your bare. We totally saw your bare feet.
I don't know, guys. It's kind of impossible to lose a shoe.
And now tilt it till we see you.
Oh, hi, guys.
Hi, Bella. Did you know you could actually turn around and you wouldn't need a mirror to see us?
There you go.
And the next day, we're off to another adventure for this Cinderella girl. It was a dream come true.
In about an hour, I'm going to see something that I have waited so many years to see, plus a bonus. I'm headed to a museum exhibit that I just heard about thanks to someone commenting about this certain exhibit that's going on. I looked it up and saw that this exhibit was happening in Dallas. I'm about 6 hours from Dallas, and I actually had a trip planned down to Houston, and that takes me straight through Dallas. And I was so excited because I just never thought to look up and see if I could see this particular dress on display. Yes, guys, I am going to a museum exhibit to see the Cinderella dress, the real Cinderella dress. It might have taken me 10 years to finally see it in person, but I'm going to see it. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. And it worked perfectly, but also, guess what? The bubble dress is also on display at the same museum. I'm here. I'm trying to prop up my camera so it works. Hello. I'm about to see the Cinderella dress. I made it. Got my camera.
As I walked past the first door in the hallway, this was the view. So exciting, but more on this one in another video. After walking past the signs and seeing all the costumes in the room, I was hit with the reality that I wasn't just going to see 2 amazing dresses. I was going to see so much more. I hadn't even taken the time to think of all the other costumes that would be on display, such as Belle's dress, which I replicated so many years ago, but also so many others that I've seen and admired over the years of Disney productions. It was just a seamstress's dream to see all these different costumes. And I will be dedicating a whole video about all of these at a later time. With all this time looking around and studying each unique piece, I was finding myself glancing around, searching for the ball gown. Where was it? Was it really here? Maybe it was really too good to be true. It didn't specifically say the ball gown was on display, and my mind went on and on. Maybe, just maybe, it wasn't gonna happen. But I continued on and was happy to see some other pieces of Cinderella.
Tiny invisible hem at the cuff, and then I love this gathering at the neckline.
But then I saw a corner.
So we're getting close. Oh my goodness. What in the world?
Turning that corner and seeing the dress literally caught my breath. First off though, the fairy godmother's dress, incredible. And also, the pink dress, gorgeous, amazing, beautiful, and we must remember, inspired the ball gown, so to speak. On one side of the wall, there were also some other iconic Cinderella gowns. The Into the Woods dress is so beautiful, and it also uses the Umissima fabric as that outer layer. Just stunning. But even so, the moment we've been waiting for. Absolutely no words. Okay, maybe a few. I did try to capture some thoughts as I was videoing.
I am not okay. This is incredible. All the details that I've researched to see them in person is just incredible. Just amazing. You can see the white lining of the bodice there, and then the white of the waistband. And I think I see a boning sticking out under that back flap. And then also, I feel like the gems used at the top of the skirt are smaller than the ones at the bottom. They're also much more spaced out on the bottom. You can see the gemmed seams of the Umissima. And then the Umissima and the silk crepelin definitely have some sort of glued hem, which I knew about it, but... no words. Ugh. So many amazing, beautiful costumes. I could have spent all day in there, but probably good that I didn't, because I would have just been driven to touch one of them. I didn't. I did get warned once to not get so close. I maybe was leaning over the guardrail with my camera as far out as possible to see the little detail. I wasn't touching it. I was still a foot away from it. My camera was, but it was a little bit close. But anyway, it was so hard not to touch it, like especially the Cinderella dress. I just wanted to like fluff up all the layers and see what's underneath. Like I wanted to see what's underneath. But I saw the Cinderella dress in person. And what better time than its 10-year anniversary when 15-year-old me was just blown away by the beauty of it as it came on screen. And to see it now 10 years later in person, it's just so special. And yeah, gosh, it's gorgeous. I mean, talk about amazing. It's so good. I could go on a rant forever and ever talking about the amazingness of this dress. And seeing it in person just like brings it all together and brings the whole journey of replicating 6 of them full circle. Looking at these details and like, wait, I already saw that. It was because I've studied these pictures of them that I found online so hard for so long, trying to pick up all the details. And then to just be in person and walk around like, oh, I can see this side, and then I can walk to this side, and oh, I can really look at that detail where you just can't do that with video and pictures. And so it was really special. And I wish I could be more like exuberant and talking right in front of the dress and just that type of footage, but I'm very shy when it comes to filming in public. But I took so many photos and I saw so many things I wasn't expecting to see. I don't know, it's just such a weird thing to have already made something, replicate it, and then to go see the real thing in person. It's kind of like a deja vu moment. It's kind of weird, but it's also just like, oh my, the detail. The detail in these movie costumes are just, it's phenomenal. The amount of details that goes into movie costumes. I didn't think I'd see the pink dress of Cinderella's pink dress and the fairy godmother dress, so that was really fun. And then of course the ball gown. Oh, so good. But also the bubble dress. Let's just talk about that for a minute. I got to see the Cinderella dress and the bubble dress in the same day. Fabric and design it's amazing. So amazing. All right.
Before moving on, let's have a quick moment for this stunning crown by Eden Luxe Bridal. So it was supposed to be here for the photo shoot, but the Postal Service had some issues, so a quick backdrop and fog, and ta-da! We're not done quite yet. During Cinderella week, we obviously had to watch the movie, but we can't just watch it, we need to have a party. So on came the work dress, and it's time to bake and cook some things. So the last minute preparations always are lacking a bit in filmed content, but they did happen, and it was also thanks to my sister-in-law and sister for pitching in and helping with those. But in the end, we had a wonderful watch party with yummy food. And with that, Cinderella week has come to a close. Thank you for watching along these celebrations. It is such a good film, and I am so grateful that it's a part of my story. And thank you if you have been here from the beginning. Wow, thank you so much for being here. And as always, a huge thank you to my patrons, YouTube members, and Instagram subscribers for supporting this sewing adventure. And now go out there and have courage and be kind.